an American patriot by the grace of God, do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America from enemies foreign and especially domestic. I, Douglas Ducote, an American patriot by the grace of God, do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America from enemies foreign and especially domestic. Say it with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, Patriots, and welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the Douglas Ducote Show, which is Douglas and Marilyn. And Marilyn is just now arriving on the scene. Welcome.
Thank you. Hold on 2 seconds.
You had many places you could be tonight. You chose to be here with us, and for that, we are forever grateful. Thank you very, very much. We're going to talk a little bit. Last Wednesday, we told you we would talk about our honeymoon, our marriage and our honeymoon.
Yeah, but you know what?
Which was kind of fun.
I think I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm going to time out because I'm coming closer. Yeah, I want to ask you some questions. Okay, look, I'm late and I'm putting on my earrings.
I
want to ask you questions. Yeah, I think I want to interview you a little bit. Is that all right?
I don't care what we do on Wednesday night.
Y'all, we're all going shopping.
I care about that. Tonight's show is brought to you by Jefferson's Ocean.
Oh, really?
Straight Kentucky bourbon whiskey, 115.4 proof.
And tangerine juice.
Tangerine juice.
Tangerine juice.
Yeah. Cheers, everybody.
Mine does not have alcohol in it tonight. Okay.
Woo, that's good.
You in a good mood?
Yeah, I'm in a good mood. How about yourself?
I'm in a great mood.
We have just a few more days until Donald J. Trump becomes president of the United States.
We weren't going to do political stuff.
That's not cool. I'm not talking about politics.
We're changing.
Wait, let me just say this. There's a deal been made for the hostages released.
And that's very exciting.
And Joe Biden has taken full credit for it.
Yeah, but that's wrong.
He's not giving any credit to Donald Trump.
Wrong. Because here's the deal. He said, when I get in office, those hostages better be released or what?
Or all hell, or you will have hell to pay.
Right. All hell's going to break loose.
Yeah.
That's right. And so then what happened? They're releasing them Sunday. Because Monday is a change in office.
Well, I've heard different stories as to how they're going to do the release. I heard it's going to be stretched out in different amounts of time and all that. It's
whatever.
Just bullshit.
It's wrong. They're going to have to do something.
Hamas is going to keep doing what Hamas does.
It's just going to be one of those things.
So we're going to have to get involved, sadly.
Okay, so let's talk about something. Okay, I know we were going to talk about the beach wedding and all the stuff that we did, but let's wait. Let's wait. Okay, so
let's wait.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that in a little while. So we're gonna put it on hold for a second. I'm gonna ask you some questions. Okay, I know that y'all ready. Do y'all want to hear about what I'm about to ask?
I have no idea what she's talking about.
Okay, so here's the deal. We know that you did several tours of duty in other countries.
Are we doing this thing that Sean Ryan did on his podcast?
I don't know.
And, Don Shipley?
I have no idea.
Where their wife asked him questions?
I don't know. I'm going to ask questions. So maybe, but I didn't see that. Maybe if I could have seen that.
All right. Well, I saw it.
I worked.
You worked?
I worked today.
I'm working too. Look at this.
I know.
I work every Tuesday and Thursday.
And Wednesday now.
And now Wednesday.
And I make you work. I'm a slave driver.
Although on Wednesday I can have a cocktail.
You can have a cocktail anytime.
You want to try that?
Oof.
Ah. Whew.
Yep.
That's strong. Good shit.
Okay. So you did several tours of duty in other countries. What did you learn?
What did I learn?
What did you learn? What are the things that you learned about other countries or about that I just want just a few little takeaways.
I learned that Yeah, I was happy to be back in America. I learned that...
This is a political statement. We weren't going to do a whole lot of political. Okay, go ahead, please.
I learned that we had the best country in the world.
We do.
I learned that
everybody wants to be us. There
was a lot of evil people in the world. And every time I came back to America, I was very happy and proud to be back. Blessed to be back.
Yeah.
Sadly, a bunch of people didn't come back.
That's true.
Yeah. So I learned about humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Really, that'd be my answer. I learned about humanity.
About the shithole countries or in other places?
I sure as hell did learn about shithole countries and other places.
I heard that some people don't even wash their hands.
They don't.
Even after they go to the other bathroom and stuff. Now, this is not a slight on any kind of other whatever, but they don't get taught that's where germs are. I mean, E. coli kills y'all.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I hate that.
No, it's true, and they have to be educated. But somebody needs to tell them, hey, look.
When we were in on my last overseas tour,
wash your hands.
We started off in Jordan, and then we went to Romania, and then we self-deployed. Our helicopters arrived in Romania, and we put them back together because they came on a C-5, and then we deployed out to the northern part of Iraq with the 10th Special Forces group to let them secure the oil wells.
Mm-hmm.
And we were Task Force Viking. And while we were in Romania and we were putting together our aircraft, there was this one time where I had to go use the bathroom. I had to go number 2.
Oh.
And so
number 2.
The quickest and easiest way was in what they call their flight ops area. And we're on an airfield. And I go in there and I go to their bathroom and there's no toilet paper. Like there's no place to even put toilet paper. There's a hole in the ground that you squat over. And then there's like a shower head thing on a hose that you wash yourself with.
Like a bidet.
And I was like, what the hell? So I went back out there and I said, do y'all have any toilet paper? And all of a sudden they pretended that they could not speak English. Literally. They were talking to me in Arabic and I'm like, no, toilet paper. I need I need to wipe my ass. And I'm trying to explain this. And it was a joke to them. They thought it was really funny. See how long they could have me stand there and sweat. And then eventually they, as I was heading back to the bathroom thinking it doesn't matter, I'm just going to have to go, they handed me a roll of toilet paper.
Oh, that's sad.
So, yeah.
So did you have a whole lot of hurry up and waits?
Oh, that should be the motto of the Army. Hurry up and wait. Everything is rush, 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 rush. And then all of a sudden you can't go to the objective yet. You have to wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You could wait days.
Yeah.
For the deployment to start.
What did that do to the morale of the people?
In training situations, it was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's like, this is bullshit. But when you're deploying, knowing that you're going to deploy into a war zone or what will become a war zone, then it's a little different because you have time to do last minute things and spend time with your family and think about deep thoughts, about where you're heading and when you're coming back.
What was that? The deep thoughts. Was that on Saturday Night Live?
I think Saturday Night Live did a skit like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so the hurry up and wait and the low morale and it wasn't because they were all worried about they needed DEI, right?
No.
just asking for a friend.
There was no DEI in the military that I served in. Shit. Anybody that would act today would act the way that we acted back then would be court-martialed.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So I know that back whenever they had the MASH on TV and everything, they had cleaner and everything.
Yeah.
And there's people are who they want to be, whatever. That's not my business. Okay, I know there wasn't a whole lot of entertainment out there. There were cards or playing games and that kind of stuff, right?
Lots of
It
cards.
doesn't have to be there on any of your deployments, even to
the cards was the big thing. That's why I don't play cards today. I hate cards.
And I love card games. He will not play games with me. I love games.
We played cards and played cards and played cards.
He won't play a game with me. So that's why this is kind of a game. He didn't know any of my questions, by the way, y'all. No questions. He doesn't know. Okay, were you the entertainment?
There was a few times where I was the entertainment. Yes.
I could see you being entertainment.
Yeah.
Did you sing songs?
No, I didn't sing songs.
Did you dance? I mean, I'm thinking camp.
Well, no.
I'm thinking like camp. Did you go to camp? Was this like camp?
This was not like camp at all.
I knew it wasn't.
So I can tell you 2 stories about me being entertainment.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, not the gross stuff though.
So one time when I was at Fort Hood, we deployed with our Chinooks to the NTC, National Training Center, out at Fort Irwin, California. And this was after Desert Storm. So now we're having to go do desert warfare training with 1st Cav. We were 6 Air Cav. And anytime they deployed, we had to go with them. And this was like our 3rd back-to-back NTC rotation for like 30 days. And the morale was in the dumps. And I was the NCOIC for that deployment, non-commissioned officer in charge of all the enlisted. And so I went to the acting commander of our group. We had 4 helicopters, so the highest ranking pilot, I believe, was like a CW4, Chief Warrant Officer 4. And I said, look, I want to take the Humvee and go into Fort Irwin and pick up some things for the guys and bring back here to help boost morale. And he's like, well, we can't do that, because once you get into what's called the bowl, where the actual training takes place, you're not allowed to go into Fort Irwin. You can't go to the showers. You can't go to the mess hall. You can't, nothing. Everything, you stay in the field. And so he agreed to allow me to do that, providing I didn't get caught and I was stealthy. Well, I don't know how you're going to be stealthy in this situation. So I take that back. It wasn't a Humvee back then. It was it was called a Cut V. It was a Chevy pickup truck, basically. And I went to the PX and I purchased a styrofoam ice chest and beer, which is not allowed there at the NTC when you're in the bowl, and a bunch of porn magazines.
Oh gosh.
Which is like Playboy.
Yeah, because back then they didn't have
that. I took that.
They didn't have the internet.
No, we didn't have the internet. I took that back to the guys and boosted morale. Okay. Long story short, about 2 weeks after we came back from that deployment, they had an award ceremony for people that did outstanding stuff during the deployment. I put in some of my soldiers for awards, and the acting commander put in some awards for people. And the last name to be called up, and this is the whole battalion's in this theater.
How many people are in a battalion? For people who
well, at this time, it was probably about 400 people.
Okay.
And so the only people that knew what this meant was our little group that went to NTC for this deployment. I get called up to get an award, which shouldn't have happened because I'm the guy who was
gives out,
put everybody in for the awards. And it was an Army Commendation Medal for being the morale support NCOIC. And everybody in my group just started busting out laughing because they knew exactly what I did.
That's great.
To boost everybody's morale.
Oh, that's great.
And then one more quick thing.
Okay, go ahead.
During Desert Storm, my parents sent me a care package, and I got it. I guess I got it around November timeframe, around Thanksgiving. It was a box that had a 6-pack of Budweiser and a 5th of Jack Daniels.
Oh.
And so I was waiting for the right time where I could get the right people to go hide somewhere on our base at KKMC and drink this. And so I chose this one particular night.
Is there a place to hide?
Yeah, we went to out on the outskirts of the airfield at KKMC.
Was that safe?
To a bunker. And we went into that bunker, but one that wasn't being used.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess it was safe. I mean, the only thing we were getting attacked with was Scud missiles back then. So we went to this bunker. I picked out the 6 people that was going to go with me, and we sat in this bunker and we drank this beer and we drank that entire 5th of whiskey. And we did this we started about 10 o'clock at night. And when we got back to the compound, we were all, as you can imagine, going a long time without alcohol. And then we were shit-faced.
Fast.
Very fast. And when we got back there, no one was in our tent. None of the other people were there. We're like, what the shit? And it was around midnight.
Okay.
11:30 probably at night. And so we're looking around and we're kind of panicking. And one of the guys does pop in and he's like, dude, where have y'all been? You know, you need to go over to the talk tent right now. We're having a big, huge meeting. We're like, what the shit? So we go to this and we walk in. They were waiting on us, not knowing where we were at. We were just missing 6 soldiers. And we walk in there and we didn't get any trouble. And that was to let us know that the war was starting at midnight.
The shock and awe?
Yeah. And so here we are.
My cousin helped lead it all in with all those helicopters.
So here we are, very intoxicated, and it's time for the war to start. And they just basically told us, you know, since we're not flying at night at that time, the beginning of the war was just an air war with the Air Force, pretty much. And they said, put on all your mop gear, your chemical gear, your gas mask, all that stuff, and just wait. Let's see what happens.
And so know if y'all were going to be.
Didn't know if we were going to hit with chemical gas or not. And they had a bunch of that there. And so here we are, laying in our bunks after midnight in full mop gear. And every now and then you would hear somebody puke. And we all did.
You puked?
Oh, yeah. Lean over to the side of your cot, break your mask, purge yourself.
I've never seen
put your mask back on. Yeah, it was pretty.
I don't want to see that.
We were a bunch of alcoholics back then, that's for damn sure.
Okay, so you definitely were a little bit of the entertainment.
Yeah, so that was some damn good entertainment.
Okay,
I know one of the guys that I served with that was there at that event and drank that whiskey with us is tuning in tonight. He tunes into my podcast.
Okay, let me ask you this. I know about your tours of duty. What about your tours of booty? Huh?
Wait a minute.
I'm just kidding. I don't want to know about that. I'm just teasing. That was actually from our friend.
My tours of booty.
That was from a friend, seriously, that wanted me to ask that. You can tell him later.
I know who that friend probably was.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to switch to something else. Let me ask you. I know you like animals.
Yes.
Okay. Nothing to do with tours of booties. I'm just saying, you like animals a lot. He's definitely this person who saves turtles crossing the road, everything. Okay.
That's how I'll probably die, is saving an animal in the highway.
Okay. Just leave all your passwords for me. So
I get hit by a freaking car at night in the rain trying to save a dog.
On the highway with people speeding by. This happens all the time. Seriously. He jumps out of his truck to go save an animal that doesn't even want to be saved sometimes.
Yeah.
Did you run into any or see any animals when you were in jungle survival school?
Yeah.
And where did you do jungle survival?
In Panama.
Yeah. And tell me, and that's not Panama City Beach in Florida.
No,
This is the
Panama,
real
Central
Panama.
America.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've seen up close and personal what Trump wants back. The cow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So did you see any animals? Tell me about animals.
Monkeys.
Really? There were monkeys down there?
Tigers.
Bears, oh my.
Snakes.
Ugh. I don't like the S word.
Spiders. Giant freaking
Giant?
Spiders.
Like this big?
Yeah.
Oof.
When you go through jungle survival school, you can't bring any food with you, and you're basically going to eat what you kill. And they teach you what you can eat, that's in the jungle and what's safe and, things like that. And
how much weight did you gain?
I didn't gain any weight.
How long were you there?
Just a week.
Okay.
And I came out
So
starving. So I wouldn't eat that shit.
You wouldn't eat grubs?
No, let me kill a deer. Let me kill a squirrel. Let me kill a rabbit.
What did they want you to kill? You can't.
Oh, they want us to eat snake. They want us to eat ants, crickets. There's a whole list of stuff that you can safely eat.
Were there fruits and things in the?
No, there were no fruits.
Yeah,
there is, but I mean, no, we didn't eat fruits. No.
Okay. What about in the desert? Were there animals there?
Yeah, there was a shit ton, and that's a lot. A shit ton is a lot.
A megaton.
Of camels.
They were just like walking out like
camels, just freely walking wherever. Yeah.
Like squirrels here.
Lots of scorpions.
Ugh, that would scare me. I don't like scorpions.
We would have to protect all of our stuff. You couldn't leave, like your boots couldn't be left next to your bunk open like that because they would crawl in it. And if they did, then you got to get that out before you put a foot in there. And the black one, I believe it was the black ones that. There's either the black ones or the fluorescent ones that were the most poisonous. You don't want to get stung by those.
You don't want to get stung by anything.
And there was a cat one day.
Was there a cat?
A cat and a bird. So one night.
Showed up?
Yeah. One night, here we are out in the middle of nowhere in Saudi Arabia. And we used to joke that when they decided where they were going to put us, when they decided where they're going to put the units, they probably put a map of Saudi Arabia up and they took a dart. And they put the unit's name on the dart and they threw it at the board, and wherever that landed, that's where your unit went and set up camp.
And it's really cool because the military can go anywhere and all of a sudden have a city.
Yeah, quickly.
With everything. I don't know if people know that.
But not back then, it wasn't like we have today.
I mean, they put that what is that called?
Terror block. We didn't have terror block back then. We didn't have tents with a floor.
But they can do that now.
We had the sand. But we did. We were resourceful. We managed to find a way to get lumber and things to build stuff and build a floor for our tent. And but anyhow, this one particular night, it's probably about 11 o'clock at night. Lights are we got our generator that's running our lights systems that we have in the tents, and so that's all off. And we hear meow outside the tent, and we think it's just somebody. From another tent messing with us. We're like, shut the fuck up. And this kept going. And somebody walked out there to see and went, damn, there's a cat. And they brought this cat into the tent. And that became like our little mascot for a while. We had this cat. Well, I got a picture of that with me petting the cat.
Do we have the name?
I don't remember if we named it or not.
Okay. But
I think that's on my Facebook, one of my Facebook albums, that cat. We had a bird that flew in one time and stayed around for a while. But camels, a lot of camels.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to switch gears for a second to your law enforcement. Is that where your love of donuts started and coffee? And do you really get free donuts and coffee? And tell me about that. I don't want to know about I want to know donuts and coffee.
My love for donuts actually started before the military.
Okay, tell me about that.
That was my grandparents' way of getting me to behave in Catholic church when I was a youth, if I could sit there quietly and not act up and do something stupid, when we left church, we would go buy Krispy Kreme donuts and I would get Krispy Kreme donuts. So that's why today Krispy Kreme donuts is like a religious experience to me, because, but in law enforcement, what's open, 11, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, little mom and pop coffee shops.
Yeah.
And in most places, they allow law enforcement to come in there and get coffee and donuts for free, which is how that kind of stigma came about. Because that's the only place when you're working a night shift where you can get donuts and coffee and it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool. Speaking of food, how's dinner tonight? Ask him what happened. What happened, Doug?
I did not know she was cooking tonight.
So I come home after getting one.
She said she was going to the store and she left, and I made myself a ham sandwich, which was basically 2 pieces of bread toasted, mayo, a couple of slices of cheese.
You could make that.
Threw some ham on it,
You can
and
make
that's
your
what
own,
I ate.
Wait, you've made your own sandwich? You can make your own sandwich?
Well, I Googled it.
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Because I know you like me to make your sandwich.
I Googled how to make a sandwich, and it was basic. Not like yours. You can make a sandwich that's like a freaking piece of art. You don't want to eat it because it's so freaking pretty.
What I make tonight?
Next thing I know, our neighbors are over and they're eating a crawfish bisque type.
Crawfish Newburg.
Crawfish Newburg.
Yeah. In little puff pastry shells.
Yeah.
It was so good.
I had no idea.
A little creamy sauce.
I was getting everything set up to do tonight's show, and then next thing I know, hey, come in here and eat. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Oh, man, was it good.
So maybe I have an appetite by the time the show's over with and I eat some.
Well, we'll see. It might not be available anymore.
Great cook.
That was really, that was from one for the books. Seriously, the neighbors said it was the best thing I've ever made, so we'll see. Okay. And they're over here all the time, so that's great. All right.
I'm going to interview you next Wednesday. How about that?
Good, I'd love it. This is fun. Okay. Okay, we're going to do... Do you want to talk about our wedding first?
How do you read that? It just looks like chicken
I didn't
scratch.
want you to read over my shoulder and get the answers before you.
I didn't even know you were writing the answers.
No, but I was writing all the questions. I know, but I didn't want you to read over my shoulder while we were sitting here. So.
Okay.
So do you want to talk about our wedding and
sure.
And so I said no for about 3 years.
Yeah.
And then one day I called you up and I said, okay, let's do it.
Yep. And we took off to Pensacola, Florida to have a week vacation on the beach.
Wedding on the beach.
We had our wedding on the beach.
It was just us.
What we did not know was...
Wait, it was just us.
It was just us. No family.
No, it was just us and the preacher.
And the preacher and his son,
and his son took
the pictures.
And so
a
on the way down there,
a freak winter storm
that we did not know was coming. And this is Mr. Weather. He looks at the weather all the time, y'all.
And did not see that coming. That was the last thing on my mind.
It started storming. It blew open the doors of the hotel.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. The wind was so strong they couldn't keep the doors closed.
When we were trying to close the elevator doors, it was hard to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, everything.
Yeah.
And
but it dropped down to 17 degrees.
Then we went to, well, not then. It was the next day. But then what happened was it got a little colder on the beach, and I was in a little blue dress, a little short dress without shoes on. And we went out to the water, and we had our little wedding, and my feet felt like there were nails going up through because the sand was frozen, and it was like nails going through my feet. I wish I would have known. I would have worn, shoes. But oh my gosh, it was so cold, y'all.
She was so cold that when it came time for her to say her
vows.
I did my wedding vows.
And I said, I'm so cold, I don't know what you're saying. You're going to have to tell me later.
And then now it was time for her, and she looked at the preacher and said, let's just do this and be done with it. I can't do it. I got to get off this beach.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And they're like, okay, we want you to walk down the beach so we can get some pictures. I said, we're not getting any pictures. In fact, I don't know how I'm getting back to the car because my feet are going to like break off. Like my toes are going to break off. It's cold, y'all.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how Doug was going to carry me if I would have. Seriously, my feet were so cold. I've never been so cold.
Yeah.
And that night it was supposed to go down to 17.
Yeah.
And so what happened?
Well, our trip ended real quick because I realized that it was that way also back in Louisiana.
We're on the same parallel.
I hadn't prepared our dog Sally, was an outdoor dog, had a kennel and a 60-foot lead, and I thought, damn it, my dog's going to freeze to death. We got to go back
and do a shelter for her
and do something to save my dog. And she's like, what?
Yeah, I was
what the fuck?
Well, we understood. I understood. So we still haven't had a real honeymoon.
No, you didn't understand.
So we still haven't had a real honeymoon.
Oh yeah, yeah, we've been all over.
We've been all over the place, but not one that says, "Baby, this is your honeymoon."
Maybe I'll give you your honeymoon tonight. How about that?
Y'all heard it.
So yeah, we only spent 2 days in Pensacola instead of a week, and we came back to take care of a dog.
Yeah.
But Sally loved it, and Sally lived many, many more years.
We went the first day. The second day we got married and we drove straight home.
And then came back, yeah.
So we weren't even there 2 days. Dog. That's right. We weren't even there 2 days. And we went to a little florist shop to get me some flowers, and they didn't really want to make me a flower nosegay.
Yeah.
Bouquet. They didn't want to help me. They didn't want to. I'm like, oh, come on, just grab some stuff and put a ribbon around it. Let's go. Remember that?
But we've been back to Pensacola so many times.
Oh yeah.
And we've been there so many times before then. I mean,
Okay, let me ask you a question. When did you know that you loved me?
When did I know that I loved you, or when did I know that you're the right person for me? And
which one came first?
I need to not fuck this up.
Which one came first?
Probably in the first month, I fell in love. And
young love.
Yeah.
We've all fallen in love in a bump. What was different? Yeah. What was different? I'm putting him on the spot, y'all.
What was different about this time?
Yeah.
I don't know. You were totally different than anybody I'd ever been with before. You were highly educated. You had a career. You had your own house. You made way more money than I did. Yeah.
I was a keeper.
Yeah. And then we dated for 3 years. We're probably about a year into it. We got in probably the worst argument we've ever had. And I don't think we've had one that bad since.
Well, I don't know.
And I broke off the relationship and told her to leave my house.
No, you didn't. You said, haul your ass.
Okay. I said something really nasty. She didn't just leave. She went to my parents' house and then told my parents. He just broke up with me.
I told him. I said, that was a dumb move. I love him.
And then I called up a buddy of mine, Charles Foster, and he was in Baton Rouge. And he said, come on over here. Let's go out and have a couple of drinks, and you can get through this. And I did. And on my way back, she had called several times, and I didn't answer. I let her go on the voicemail. And on my way back, I listened to the voicemail, and the voicemail was probably about 2 minutes long. And let me just tell you that listening to that voicemail made me realize that this person loves me more than anybody will ever love me, or that I'm deserving of, I guess. And I realized I'd fucked up.
With me? Without me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So we got back together, and what do? We went to Florida.
We went to Florida.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, so let me ask you, what do I do that helps you feel loved and cared about?
You wake up.
That's it?
No, I mean, from the time you're awake to the time you go to sleep, I feel loved constantly, because you're always doting on me or doting on the kids, or
I do.
cooking wonderful food and asking my opinion on stuff. And when I give you my opinion on stuff, you say no, and then you come back later and say, okay, well, I thought about that, and maybe that should be okay.
That's funny.
And sending me text messages with little love you things and hearts, and just everything you do. Your whole persona is love towards your family. Yeah.
Thank you. That made me
You do things like you got me this glass, which has got a Chinook helicopter on it, Staff Sergeant Ducote on the back. Forever a hooker. That's what they called us, hookers.
because they have a hook that comes out. Various things. Let me ask you, do you like my songs? Do you think I should change any themes up?
She sings a lot. She just makes up songs at night. Just literally just makes something up that includes my name in it. Yeah, I get a good chuckle out of it.
What makes you smile and what makes you laugh?
Being with my family.
Yeah.
Being with family and friends.
Yeah.
And since we've moved and where we're at now,
we love it. We love it.
Our life is, considering, you guys and girls that have been part of this show for years, you know what we went through.
Hard.
2 back-to-back hurricanes. The whole state froze solid for a week. We had a massive flood. We lost everything: our cars, our homes, the RV we were living in our driveway while waiting for the house to be repaired. We went through hell.
Mm-hmm.
And then the insurance company filed bankruptcy. It was and COVID happened at that time. Your mom died at that time. It was
so hard. We had a hailstorm twice with 2 hailstorms.
Yeah.
We had that freeze. We had pipes break.
Yeah,
it
was just back to. It was like every day I woke up thinking, what the fuck's going to happen today? It was just that bad.
We lost everything.
Yeah.
We lost vehicles.
Yeah.
Lost where
everything on our first floor of our house was flooded, gone in a flood. Yeah.
And we were still blessed.
Weapons, bullets.
And we had each other, and we were blessed.
Yeah. But then we moved to where we're at now, the other side of the state and further north, where we don't have to worry about hurricanes that much, in an area that's never flooded.
Mm-hmm.
Knock on wood. And
please.
We live in a wonderful gated community and a wonderful house that we both picked out and love very much, and have neighbors that are just amazing.
They are just wonderful.
Absolutely amazing.
They're caring and kind, and
it's like your own family, Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm very, very happy and blessed.
Me too.
We're blessed.
Me too. Definitely. Okay. Now let's switch again. Okay. Before I do that, do you have any hopes and dreams that that we have not touched on yet, that maybe you didn't tell me about yet, or maybe you have in the back of your mind that you want to talk about?
Hopes and dreams.
Because, it's very important to dream with your spouse. It's important to say, oh, I really, one day I won't, or one day we will do this. One day we will, is there anything that you're hoping or dreaming that, besides the fact that we want a place to cook outside and another hot tub one day? We lost it in the hurricane.
I mean, there's things that,
that's material.
I don't know that that's hopes and
Any
dreams.
hopes and dreams?
I guess the only hopes and dreams I have is that, me and you and our children, stay healthy and we've been through, especially me, I've been through more medical issues than you can think of. But I'm blessed that I keep going, and we've got good doctors, help your whole family's doctors. So we got good medical care, and we got great insurance for that. And I just hope that I'd like to at least live to be in my early 80s, I guess. And then after that,
good, I got at least another 20 years then.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so is there any hopes and dreams for our country?
Yeah.
Because we are definitely going to have a change in our leadership.
I'm very optimistic that the next 4 years are going to be the best 4 years of my life as far as our country's concerned. Financially, safety-wise, the things that are going to change, not just in our country, but that's going to change in the world. Because when you have strong leadership in America, then the world
follows suit,
pays attention. And when you have weak leadership, things just fall to shit,
apart.
like they have been doing for the past 4 years. So, I
We're
hope
living in a very exciting time. I mean,
we are. Yeah.
When it's so exciting that when there are aliens and they're talking about aliens, and everybody's like, okay, what else? Because for real, it was no shock that we have. In fact, it didn't even make the news hardly.
Yeah. And when it did hit the news, that when the Pentagon admits that we have things flying around us that we don't know what they are, they're not ours. And we have people testifying in front of Congress that are members of the military that have seen flying saucers or things from other planets.
They've got video. They've got
Nobody gave a shit.
Nobody cared.
Nobody cared. I covered it on my show. I probably covered it on my show, or not just on my show, but did videos on it, talking about these testifying in Congress, and more than Fox News did, for crying out loud.
That's right.
Because I'd watch C-SPAN, and I'd watch these, military pilots testify about the things that they've witnessed and things that they know about that's happening that the government's keeping secret. And nobody gave two shits about it, because so many things were screwed up that it was like, okay, whatever, move on to the next thing.
That's right.
So that's kind of the biggest thing about this. The two biggest things in life, question-wise, is there life after death? Is there a heaven? Is there another place? Is there something else that we go to after we die? And are we alone in the universe? Is there somebody else out there?
Right.
Rather than like us or some other type being. And so one of those questions was answered by our own government and governments of other countries that came together and said, yes, we shared this information. And
that's right.
Nobody cared.
Nobody cared. And let me just say that there have been sightings of other things throughout history. I mean, they've got pictures and all the relics of that you can see from other worlds and all that stuff. God is definitely in the mix right now. I feel him moving in the world. I feel that we're going to see, just signs and wonders. I really do feel like like we are in a good place right now, and that Trump was sent. I do. I feel like Trump was sent.
You know, I got a email from one of the subscribers recently, like about 5 days ago. And this guy said that, you know, I've been watching you since the beginning, and also tuning into other podcasts and on YouTube and Rumble and Twitter, and you're the only person I know of that everything you said and predicted came true. And I thought about that, and it was like,
yeah.
I don't know if it's something that God special gave me to be able to project where we're going and what's going to happen. Yeah, well, of course.
So he blesses you. I wish I would. I saw a notebook one time that said everything I said was right, and the things that you write in it, and I wish I would have gotten it for you a long time ago, for you to put something in and say, yeah, I said this, and then anyway, whatever. We're not pretending to be, you know, holier than thou or better than anybody else. We are here just trying to make it like everybody else is.
Yep.
And so, okay, asking about Trump. Okay, you know, he is the greatest troll of all. He trolls people on the internet, and he says things that I remember on Twitter, I would wake up in the morning and I couldn't wait to see what he had to say, because it was always outlandish. You know, even though I would wish that, you know, someone would break his thumbs every now and then. Not really, but, you know, at least take his phone away. What's the funniest thing that you think he did or said?
The funniest thing I think he's done is his dance.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen a president do that before. You know, or world leader for that matter. What funniest things he said? Jeez, there's just so many things he said that were, some of them make you laugh, some of them make you go, wow, why did he have to say that? You know, but I think that's one of the draws that people like about him, is that
he's likable. He's
going to be truthful. He's going to be honest. He's going to be straightforward with you, and you know exactly where he's coming from, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. And he has the Village people singing.
Yeah.
And performing.
I mean, all these people that said that he hates gays.
It's wrong.
And he's against LGBTQ and all that kind of shit. He's got the Village people performing at the inauguration, for crying out loud.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be great.
This would be the biggest audience they've probably ever played in front of.
I don't know. Who knows?
So
because back then there wasn't an internet.
Yeah, all this crap that the left said about him, it's all wrong, and they're now finding it out and they're eating it. So
I think the most gangster thing he did was whenever he pulled out a picture and showed the guy his house.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was, and he invited the leader, it was one of the guys in I guess it was the member of the highest member of the Taliban, to Washington, D.C. in the Oval Office.
Yeah.
To talk about ending their bullshit in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And as at the end of the conversation, Trump handed him a photograph that was taken of his house. And, you know, an aerial photograph, and, you know, said something to the fact of, you know, either get on board or you'll be meeting the U.S. Air Force soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was pretty freaking awesome.
You know what I think is funny? I think, and it doesn't have anything to do with Trump, but I think it's funny that Trudeau said something this week and Elon Musk said, Girl.
Elon Musk,
you're not even a leader anymore. What you say doesn't even matter.
Nancy Mace got in an argument with she's a white woman
Yeah.
with, I don't know the girl's name, but a young black congresswoman, and they got in a heated argument in the middle of a freaking thing today.
His child.
And
He said, "Don't you call me child."
yeah, and she called her a child. The black woman called Mace a child, and she went, "You want to take this shit outside?"
Yeah. That happened today.
Congress all erupted and like, "What are you talking about? You know, you can't say that." Yeah, I can.
Crockett. Jasmine Crockett.
Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's it. That's it. Oh, that was so funny. That was funny.
Yeah.
Oh, the trash truck. The trash truck's going to be there.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's great. We're not garbage, y'all. And we're educated. We're educated.
Yeah.
And we have more fun than people in big cities do. Because, I mean, we can run a trout line. Country boy can survive. That is a real thing.
Yeah.
I mean, who else can? Who else can put an inner tube behind a tractor?
All the things that people say about the South, the negative stuff, you know, but when it comes down to it, that's who's going to survive, because we can do anything.
We can do anything.
We can you know, grow our own food.
We can do anything.
Raise our animals.
Last
hunt
time I looked,
fish.
you can catch crawfish out of mud holes.
Yeah.
And they're good.
Yeah. We have the most guns. Yeah. People won't be talking shit about the South then.
That's why Japan did not attack our mainland, because they thought every home had guns in them and everything, because it's the Wild West and everything. That's why
all they knew was
Pearl Harbor got hit and not the mainland.
Yeah.
That's right.
That is true. That's history fact.
Or we would be speaking Japanese.
Yeah, they thought that every household had a gun in it, and there was no way that they could pull it off.
And they had so many homes over there in a tiny place. They didn't realize America was big, and they were just dotted.
Right.
Yeah, that's real. Oh yeah, he worked.
Spencer 17 says, "Don't forget he worked at McDonald's."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I love it. I love it.
And that was him trolling
Gulf of America.
Kamala Harris, because she claims she worked at McDonald's in school, and she never worked at McDonald's. McDonald's came out and said, "We have no record this woman ever worked." So he went and sat in the drive-in at McDonald's and took orders for a few hours.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was fun.
Yeah.
I like him. I liked him whenever he had his You're Fired show, you know? And I watched it every week on Thursday nights. I liked it.
Chris Archer says, "Hello again. I'm the Canadian that told you about the snow a few shows back. I've always loved the South, and the food you guys and girls have is to die for." Thank you.
Awesome. Y'all, I don't know how any of y'all live in the rest of the country. Seriously, put some pepper, add some seasoning. I promise your life will be so much better.
Chris, we're going to Canada in 2 months. Yeah, in March. We'll be up in Canada.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. What's one thing you could change? One thing you could change if you could talk to what's his name that just got through getting Pete
Hesse?
Yeah, if you would tell him, "Hey, this is one thing that needs to be changed."
I don't think there's anything I could tell him he doesn't already know.
Yeah, no. But what is something that you wish?
He's already covered all the points, the things that I think about. We got to get rid of the wokeness. You know, we got to get rid of the Navy doing, the Navy, the United States Navy had a Navy sailor. I talked about this in a show last year. Had a Navy sailor that was a transsexual dressed up in drag, a drag queen, to recruit
Yeah, that shouldn't happen.
Those kind of people into the service.
Yeah, that shouldn't.
And so, you know, he's aware of all that stuff.
I know. But what would you change besides taking taking it back a few steps and going,
I-
boys are boys and girls are girls.
I want them to get paid better. I believe
Yeah,
that
I
service
believe-
members
me
should be
too.
paid
Yes.
equivalent to the civilian workforce.
No, or even better,
Yeah.
because they
I
risk
mean,
their lives.
yeah.
And I think that the service members' families should be taken better care of too.
Yeah. I would like to see in leadership positions throughout
They need
the government
homes to stay in that are
non-commissioned
nice.
officers instead of generals in charge of shit.
Yeah.
Because
They-
NCOs are the ones that make the shit work, and we're the
they're
ones that know the
living
most
in
about it.
old barracks, old quarters.
In
that
some
are-
locations,
in
yeah.
some, it's true, and they really need to be taken care of. The families
Yeah.
need to be taken care of
Yeah. But
just a
yeah,
little bit better.
but
That's my opinion.
he's going to be. I think he's going to be the best Secretary of Defense in our history.
Yeah.
Everything he said he wants to change, I agree 100% with, and I can't really think of anything other than the pay
Mm-hmm.
that I'd like to see.
Yeah.
That he's hasn't talked about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they need to be paid better.
Okay. What's the theme song for your life? What do you drive? You're driving down the road and you're just like, do you have a theme song that like makes you like get excited about like whatever it is? Could be testosterone. It could
Probably
be whatever. Could be like we're kicking ass and taking names. Or it could be relaxed, or what is it?
Probably
What's your
Sweet
theme?
Home Alabama is my one of my
Sweet Home Alabama.
by Leonard Skinner is one of my all-time favorites.
Okay.
Uh,
We've never lived in Alabama.
no, it's just
Okay,
the
what else?
song is wonderful.
That's your favorite song. Okay. What is your theme song
Wow.
that says "This is me"?
Probably Leonard Skinner's Simple Man.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be it.
Okay. What about our love song? What about a theme song for our love life?
Oh, wow.
Hot and heavy, huh?
Probably Freebird, and a lot of people don't realize this, but it's not about death as much as it is about love. And in our case, our love didn't go in separate ways and become free. We stayed together. So I guess, yeah. Wow, I don't think I've ever thought about that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of our moderators, John Lawrence, a lot of y'all might not know this, but he and I met at Fort Hood, Texas. He was in 1st Cav and I was in 6th Air Cav, and we deployed together to the NTC. So we go back to, John and I go back to 1990.
Yeah.
91. Long time.
That's a long time.
Yep.
My first child was born in 91. I was pregnant in 1990. Man, I'm so glad that we weren't together because I would not have put up with you for 2 seconds.
Neither did anybody else.
That's true. That's true. Okay, let me ask you this. Do you see part of Canada becoming the 51st state? I know it's a bunch of territories, but come on, something.
No.
I want some of it because not that I want it, but I think that they should all have.
It would be great if America would bring in Canada, if the people wanted that to get away from the socialism type stuff they've been under.
Yeah.
I mean, think about this. People from Canada come to America for medical surgeries and medical procedures because there's a waiting list.
There's a waiting list up there.
With their socialized medicine.
Uh-huh.
But I do see us making a deal with Panama with the canal, whether we take back the canal or they stop charging us out our ass.
Mm-hmm.
And I also see us taking in Greenland.
Mm-hmm. or part of Greenland.
I think we're going to take the whole damn
I see
thing.
we're going to do something, and we're going to put like a military base up there. Definitely.
Well, we already have military bases
but
there.
something.
But we're going to, yeah.
I do see part of Canada or Canada coming to us. I see it.
I don't know.
I think they're ready for us because they really wish that they had leadership like we. In fact, I think that's why Trudeau went back up there and immediately resigned, because he knew that Donald J. Trump had something on him, and he basically probably went and said, "Hey, I'm going to release this if you don't do something about this." And he went, "Well, we'll see what you're going to do if I quit." And he went up there and quit. And I think that did you see the truckers?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how great was that? But then they started arresting them. And
the way the Canadian government treated their people for the last
it's been bad.
15 years has really been fucked up.
Well, our people are as Acadians.
We're going through some shit too.
We were kicked out of there.
Yeah.
Our
families, my family
families,
and your family, when we came over from Europe, we went to Nova Scotia.
That's right. And
before coming into America.
The men, and they married the Micmac women.
Yep.
And then they ended up getting kicked out. And whenever they were kicked out, what happened was the English came over and said, "We will pay for scalps." And they were talking about scalps of the Acadians up there. And so Beaujolais went up, and he and his people, which was my ancestors, they scalped and killed the people from England, and they scalped them, and they got paid for those scalps. They put them in jail. And then our people in jail, and our people escaped and came down and kept going south until they made it to Louisiana, in Southwest Louisiana. And that's where they made their home, in the swamplands down here, because it looked so much like the swamplands up in Canada. Yeah, there's a really great book. It's called A Great and Noble Scheme, and it's fantastic. And man, some really neat stories in there.
Cool.
Yeah. Anyway, how was it tonight?
Well, we're at 9:03. We went 3 minutes over.
How was it?
That's cool.
Did
That was
I do
fun.
okay?
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe next week I'll ask you some questions.
Okay.
Be prepared, baby.
I don't know how to prepare. I'll just answer. That's going to be fun.
Anyhow, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. We're going to do this every Wednesday night in between the live show that I do on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tune in tomorrow night for the live broadcast of the Douglas Ducote Show, where we will dive into politics as we normally do, and talk about the things that are happening in the country, things that are happening in the other parts of the world. But also keep in mind, look, I know a lot of people, when you talk about California, a lot of people say, the hell with California, fuck California. There's a lot of good people in California. I've got family and friends there. I was in my last National Guard unit was in California. I served in law enforcement in California. Just so happens that, and like other places even in the country, like in Minnesota, for instance, wherever you put, a huge amount of people, depends on how you can build that electoral up for that particular party. And that's what they did in places like San Francisco and LA. And but there are a lot of conservatives and Republicans over there that, California's a beautiful place.
Right.
Okay. Great weather. But right now down in LA, there's some serious problems with these wildfires.
They're really bad.
I got a very good friend of mine I served in the Army with that's down there fighting fires. My last unit in the Guard is down there with their Chinook helicopters fighting fires.
And it's not just all these like people who have millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah,
they're showing these people on TV, but for real,
there's some regular people like us that are like their homes were gone.
Yeah,
probably the worst fire in American history is taking place right now, and it just keeps getting worse.
Yeah.
So
pray for that.
I've got some very good friends that are flying Chinook helicopters right now down there that I'm very concerned about, very worried about.
Pray for their
So
safety.
and it's not just them. We've got National Guard units from all over the country
Right.
that are down there helping. So keep them in your thoughts and prayers, along with everything else that we do at night when we say our prayers. So with that, as always, please say a prayer for our men and women serving in the United States military, our law enforcement officers, our first responders, their families, our angel families, our blue and gold star families, and our country.
Yes.
May God bless the United States of America and Canada
And Greenland.
and Greenland. And may God bless each of you.
And Donald J. Trump.
Donald J. Trump. And I'll see you all tomorrow night for the live Douglas Ducote show. Until then,
God bless all the babies in the world.
God bless all the babies in the world. All right, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for joining us.